Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Seattle Seahawks. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Mike 14. Watch the car. What? Joker. 14, front it. Hatchet. Check three.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 81 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Maine Edmonds there to bring him down. 3-yard line. It appears. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not. He'll look to throw. Going up top from Miller. A 50-50 ball back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat.
Up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A big play there. 51 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's pulled in at the 32. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
Set, ready? 18, Gator.
First down, a run with Cohen. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, and it's 3rd and 4.
Got it. 53. Protein spill.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. These two teams all tied after one. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Ready?
And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
61, matchbox right.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. They'll throw over the middle, taken in. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 23-yard run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. They're in coverage to knock it away, Marquise Blair.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Wilson now. Going to throw again. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson, and this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Myers' kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coach.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to...
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
30 base.
Let's go, B. Big Sears right here. We got
Roll out.
slam.
Hey, Hayward. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Ready? 60 or.
big stop, G.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
70, Indy.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
He's checking. Crash. Kill.
Now a run with Montgomery. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. They run for it with Carson, and he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. 2nd and long. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Man left, man left. Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Now it's Wilson. It's caught. Lock it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Wilson. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And got his man complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Mecole Hardman. An even 90 yards as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
The receivers have been running them ragged, maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
I don't think you got it, son. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be fourth down now. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now a handoff looking right. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
He's crashed.
On second down, it's Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Here's Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 38-yard line. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
And this is going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Cohen, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 11. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. In a tie game, 4th quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Right there.
They'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
He's back to throw. The catch made by Miller. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Leo.
Back to throw here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. And to give this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now they try the right side here. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Wilson wants to throw it. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on into a double team, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick, but he will not be able to bring it back. My goodness, what a bizarre ending. The kind of decision that could get a quarterback released before he gets back to the locker room. But fortunately for him and his crew, the ball game is over. So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they go down to defeat here in, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our